Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking live at the scene of tonight's game between the Elk Rapids Elks and the Kingsley Stags. We're going to pause for our national anthem. As we like to say here at Next Level Broadcasting, play ball. Shane Smith, Eric Huffman, Charles Strail, the three of us bringing this one to you live from downtown Elk Rapids and their beautiful new sports complex here, not the least of which is this multi-million-dollar gymnasium. A beautiful place to have a ball game here as the Kingsley Stags come up the road to take on the Elk Rapids Elks. Eric, we know the Elks well. They're sitting right at the top of the conference right now. This game, just another one of those proving grounds for them to enhance their skills against the likes of Harbor Springs, Charlevoix, and even Boyne City, all sitting right there at the top of the conference.
Yeah, kind of like you were saying, there's kind of a logjam going on top of the Northern Shores right now with those four teams. And you're coming in with a game, Elk Rapids cannot afford to take a day off, or especially coming up with a Kingsley team that has not won yet this season, play down to a team or start creating bad habits because of a game potential of what it could be tonight too. So you got to make sure that you're going all out and still sticking to your game plan no matter who you're playing.
All right, so we'll get into the starting lineups here with Elk Rapids. First and foremost, you've got number 2, Cameron Kerfoot. Followed by him, number 4, Jaden Oresco. Number 5, Max Ward. I love this atmosphere that they have. Number 24, the big man, Wyatt Bargy. Get the Chicago Bulls theme song playing, the spotlight treatment.
This has been a great place to come to this year.
That's right. 31, Keegan Cotterman rounds up the starting 5 for Kingsley. Elk Rapids. We'll get to Kingsley's here in just a moment.
Yeah, I think they already announced theirs, but obviously we'll
did.
catch them at as they're getting out on the court.
Yep.
I have to keep an eye out for Kingsley as well. Looks like they got a couple fifth quarter players. Don't have their names, so we'll do the best we can with them tonight.
Okay. So we've got number 0, Brody Wolf. Number 1, Andrew George. Number 20, Cole Osborne.
Number 5.
Yep, number 5, Tucker Dreves. And number 4, Alex Figueroa. So there's the starting 10 out there on the court. It'll be Cole Osborne for Kingsley going up against Bargy there at the Elk Rapids logo to begin this one.
Yeah, it's some big action within the Northern Shores Conference coming up. Obviously, with this game for Elk Rapids tonight, Harbor Springs over in Boyne City. Harbor with 1 loss in the conference, Boyne with 2, Elk Rapids with 2, and you've got Charlevoix with 2. So, again, quite the logjam up top of the conference right now.
So Elk Rapids won the tip. It'll be Kingsley taking it back. Figueroa with it now. Pass off to Andrew George. Kingsley still looking for their first win of the season, but they have a tough schedule here to play in. They're a young group that's continuously building talent all season long.
Yeah, I think only 3 seniors in the whole program, a few juniors, but yeah, very freshman, sophomore loaded.
Figueroa lets that one fly from about 12 foot out, misses it. The Elk Rapids ball here, 30 seconds into the game.
Quick shout out, Elk Rapids JV team. I think they won by at least 40 points tonight, so good showing by them tonight.
Yeah. A lot of talent here for Elk Rapids to be happy with in the years coming up. As we've got Cotterman back over to no good there from Max Ward. It'll be Bargy fighting for it here. Jump ball scenario, staying with the Elks.
A good defense by Osborne. Got up there, got a hand extended, able to alter that shot. Still going to stay Elk Rapids ball, though.
Jaden Resco here taking care of the inbound duties. 45 seconds into this one. No score yet on the board. Ward gets it back towards the logo. It'll be back over to Resco once again. Going up against Figueroa. Pass around the top of the arc to Ward. Inside to Bargy. Gets a handle on it. Lets that one go off the glass. No good. Foul coming up here against Kingsley.
Number 1 on that foul?
Yep, Andrew George there picking up his first, team's first. Bargy looking to get the first points of the game. There it is.
And Bargy, too. Elk Rapids should be able to take advantage of him down low with a mismatch. He looks like the biggest player out on the court, so I'd be trying to post him up and see if he can't put some work in, either down on the block or give him the high post, see if he can attack, too.
And there's 2 for 2. Good start there at the free throw line. Back the other way now with George trying to work his way out of a jam. Gets it back over to Drees.
Now your opposite guards need to drop down because you're going to have a backside pass because he didn't drop down, and an easy layup for Kingsley.
Yes, indeed. Figueroa makes that one look easy. That's a 2-2 ball game.
Yeah, we can talk about zone presses maybe sometime through the night if we have some time.
Yeah,
about how you've got to shift and get back depending on how the ball moves.
Get that coach cam going, sponsored by the Lake House. Good attempt there by Kerfoot, just not able to get that one to fall in. Kingsley with it back now. Osborne off to Dreves as he works his way back across the logo. And Kingsley taking a chance to set up here. George lets that one fly to the corner. Dreves was the intended target, got knocked away by Resco, so we'll stay here with the Stags. The meeting of the Deer family here between the Stags and the Elks in this matchup.
We have muzzleloader season coming up.
That one passed back in November and early December.
Okay.
Yeah. Bow season just wrapped up, though, I think, here not too long ago. Brody Wolf spinning around there at the elbow against big man Bargy. Back over to Dreves. He'll post up. Why not? That'll fall off the back of the iron. And picked up nicely here by Elk Rapids and Max Ward.
Yeah, nice rebound by Ward up amongst the trees, wrestling that down.
Three-pointer on the way. That one well short. And Bargy tried to save that one, but it'll go
strength
back
on the
here.
rebound was great. The strength on the shot, not so.
No. Clash of the antlers here between these two teams, you might say. I don't know.
Yep, see, you got a bad shift rotation with the press, too. So you're going to end up with a 2-on-1, possible another quick bucket. Almost a nice block by Bargy.
Yeah, almost. There's Brody Wolf going up there for the shot, so it'll be going to the line. Good find, though, by Figueroa to get to Wolf, who was open for a moment until big man Bargy came crashing down on him.
Yeah, again, just not good backside rotation with your presses. When the ball gets reversed or moved, you've got to shift and then get back to where you normally started and get back and find that guy within that area, or else you're going to give up easy buckets or at least fouls.
Wolf gets his first one here, trying to hunt down some Elks. Gets the second one to fall in, and at the moment, Kingsley has the 4-2 possession lead.
Yeah, nice quick fly play up the side, get the ball down the court quick,
Kerfoot.
force Kingsley into sprinting.
Yep. And a good takeaway here. Bargy had too many Stags around him. As it'll be Dreves once again, allowing the Stags to get things set back up. Over to Figueroa, 5:15 to go in this first period. As he works his way into the paint, dumps that one off to Wolf. And another good banker. It'll be a 6-2 ball game.
Nice dump down with the bucket.
Elk Rapids a bit slow to get going here as Resco lets one fly from deep. No good there. Back the other way once more. Dreves working it all the way in. Gets that one pickpocketed. And they'll say it'll be back to the Elks here.
He's going to, the official said it ran off his leg. I'm not quite sure from up here, but needless to say, it's Elks ball.
I think it's a little bit closer for that ref to tell from 5 feet than it is for us from about 75. Kerfoot to Bargy, now back to Ward. Resco letting another one from 3. That one goes off the heel into the hands of the opposing number 4, Figueroa. And Dreves takes it for the Stags back across. 4.5 to go in this first period. Kingsley does hold a 4-point, 2-possession, 6-2 lead. Elk Rapids with the only points scored so far from Vardy
nice
at the
dump
free
down
throw line.
again. Yeah,
There
again,
you go.
bad rotation on the Elk Rapids defense.
That'll be Andrew George. It's a 6-point, 8-2 ball game.
Yep. Kingsley, the better looking team in the first 4 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Kerfoot trying for a three-pointer. That one falls short.
Nope. Kingsley playing spirited. Elk Rapids is kind of going through the motions right now. Somebody needs to kick them in the butt a little bit and remind them that there's a game going on.
Right. There's a game going on, and there's a fight for the conference championship on the line. Each loss here means big things so far as we go into the second half of the season.
Good sportsmanship by Dreves. He brought the hammer down for that foul. Make sure you let him know it was just part of the game.
So it'll be Horesco at the line. So far, again, the only point scored for Elk Rapids was Barkey at the charity stripe here. Swish through.
That's one thing we've seen a lot of these games have been doing the last few weeks is a lot of better and nice-looking free throw shooting.
Yeah. It's definitely improved ever since the New Year's, just as we say that.
The announcer's jinx there on that one, huh?
Charles, looks like you got headset back on.
Yeah, so far, I just think the ball movement of Kingsley has been really crisp here. They've got 3 assists of their 3 made field goals, and they're getting good quality attempts at the basket. It's been impressive to see how well they've executed here this game plan in the first 4.5 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you the attention to detail that the players have to the coach, making sure that they truly understand what the coach wants to emphasize and coming out here in the first couple minutes of the first quarter. And Eric, you probably can allude to that as well.
Yeah, you can tell it looks like they've talked about patience on the offensive end, especially quarter court offense, making sure they're getting through their sets and finding the best shot possible. And so far, so good. Elk Rapids hadn't been able to stop them. They've only been stopping themselves.
Another foul coming up here for Kingsley. That'll be their third. Elk Rapids with 1 so far. And the first on Osborne, sending Ward up to the line. Try to get this back to a 1-possession game off of only free throws. That one falls short. Never mind.
Of course, I'd say free throws, and we'd miss the last 2.
And as we talk about the conference standings and how this game plays into it, Elk Rapids coming in with only 1 conference loss. So if they're able to keep pace with both, well, actually right now as it stands, Elk Rapids is in first place for the conference, tied with Harbor Springs.
Wow. Well, we'll see how they can do here.
Yeah.
They're still down 5. Bargy had one right under the basket, lost it.
But again, big game with Harbor and Boyne tonight, so we'll see if we can't get any updates of that.
Yeah.
And then Harbor and Elk Rapids here Thursday night. That'll be a fun one too.
Boy, are we excited to do that game. Probably one of the biggest that this conference has seen so far this year.
Yeah, outside of, let's see, the Harbor Charlevoix game we were at last week.
Another three-pointer up and away. That was from Figueroa, no good. Fresco fighting for it here to try and bring it back across the Elk Rapids side of the court. Indeed he does. Finds Ward open. Now it'll be Kerfoot from the corner. No good.
Elk Rapids right now still haven't made a shot from outside. They've taken quite a few, and their misses attributing to why they're down by a handful.
It's at least the 4th three-pointer we've seen so far, attempt that is, in this game.
Yeah, kind of like they're settling.
George and Figueroa so far. Kingsley's been playing like they're hungry for their first win, which they need. George and Figueroa inside to Osborne, left unattended, gets that one in.
Man, that was a perfect pass.
Yes, it was.
You saw the maybe like the 25% front there, and that was a perfect pass down to Osborne.
So it's a 7-point lead in favor of
now
Kingsley.
Osborne's got to be careful. That's 2 on him now.
That's 4 assists on 4 made field goals for Kingsley so far in this game.
And a bit of a shift change here for Elk Rapids. 32, Luke Wolgamont. 3, Tyler Stanfest. And last but not least, 12, Braden Flutie, the Elk Rapids varsity football quarterback. Yeah. And for Kingsley, number 32, Braden Sherman coming in as well.
Elk Rapids needs a tempo change right now. And when you bring in Flutie and Stanfest and Wolgamont, you can kind of get a change of tempo.
Well, when they're not making any shots and they can't press either.
Another in and out 3, the third one made this period from Resco.
What they should do, if they're worried about being able to press on a made shot, then they should set up the same press and hustle back to half court, and you can press them at half court. Try to pick up the tempo that way.
31, Oliver Stein, newcomer for the Stags as well. At the same type of shot Resco had, and that'll be a foul cut up here.
And got the body.
So that'll be foul number 5 coming up here for Kingsley. Going up to the free throw line for the rest of this period with 70 seconds to go. This time it'll be none other than Keegan Cotterman.
And that's one thing you don't want to do if you're the Kingsley Stags right now. The Elks are struggling right now offensively, and now you put them to the free throw line.
Well, they're struggling at the free throw line,
now
too.
they have,
Yeah.
Ever since Coach said something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just the thing, like, you don't want to put a team that's having a hard time scoring to the free throw line. Don't allow them to continue beating themselves, as the old coach adage goes, but they do split the pair at the line there by Cotterman.
4 for 8 in this period, if my math is correct. Eric can check me on that in a little bit. With 1 minute to go.
You are correct.
All right. I can count without using all my fingers and toes.
Is that a little zone press there, Eric?
Yes.
Gets the takeaway. It'll be left up to Wolgamott. Too much steam behind him there. He lets that one go out of bounds. Still a 6-point lead with Kingsley. 47 seconds to go in this first period.
See if Kingsley can hold the ball here for maybe the last shot of the quarter. I think if you told the Kingsley coaching staff that you're going to go into the quarter.
You always talk about putting a man in the middle, and
right.
Kingsley almost had that beat again because they had a man in the middle. They were able to get the ball there. They just ended up getting in the spot that I talk about not going, which is over by the half-court line, where you can almost get triple-teamed using the half-court and or sidelines as a defender.
Well, Kingsley turned it over. Elks turn it over right back. Now 34 seconds left.
Mason Cannon for the Elks makes his first appearance in tonight's game.
Yep. Now he's got to drop down. Yep. Now he's shuffling his feet and jogging back instead of sprinting to an area to guard the man in that area, and that's why that pass happens in the paint again.
And there's that travel call.
Talk about doing everything with a purpose. You don't just slide your feet or shuffle your feet to get there. You get there.
And the tough one there, Brody Wolf probably wants some instructions from head coach Jason Stewart to keep that for the last shot attempt of the quarter. Instead, he turns it over. The Elks can cut this to a 1-point game with a made 3-point, or 1-score game with a made 3.
Letting one fly. Cotterman gets it in.
Just as Charles requested.
Yep.
And, I mean, that's just one of those things from a understanding philosophy standpoint. Would you rather go in to the quarter break up by 6 or up by 3? You feel completely different if you hold a team to 4 points in the first half or first period, and now they hit a 3-pointer, cut your lead in 50%. Now you're only up by 1 score. It's a 3-point
And not
game.
only that, you saw an outside shot go in the hole too, because that was their first made field goal of the game outside of their free throws.
So we're going to step aside here, come back in 45 seconds. You're watching high school basketball on Next Level Broadcasting.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Life gives us enough to deal with, like doing your taxes, hosting in-laws,
Oh, you're still trying to do the beard thing, huh?
and of course, filing an insurance claim. But luckily, Auto Owners makes it easy. They pay what they owe, without any hassle. That's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if Auto Owners make sense for you.
And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. The second period of this game just about ready to get underway. Kingsley holding a narrow 3-point lead over Elk Rapids after being up by as much as 7 so far in this game. Been much more the chipper of the two teams out there on the floor. Elk Rapids finally getting a made 3, and they're off Keegan Cotterman. Get this back to a 1-possession game. He'll try it from the same spot again to begin the period. That'll fall short off the iron into the hands of Tyler Dotz, who just came in here at the beginning of this quarter. Oliver Stein working his way around with Stanfest all over him. Back over to Dotz.
A little more talk to start this period for Elk Rapids on defense.
There's a
Although
good
they
shot
give
made
up a
in
3.
by Dotz. Big 3 there. Back up to a 6-point game, 13-7.
Did he just come off the bench absolutely ready to let it fly?
He did.
Wow.
Hey, make use of your time.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Hey, what are they going to do, bench you?
Yeah.
You came
There you
off the
go.
bench, let it fly when you get in the game, man. I love it.
Nice drive of the baseline by Stanfest.
Yep. Makes this a 4-point game, 13-9.
Yeah, see the way Elk Rapids kind of shifts and moves themselves to getting position for a double team. They're not quite there either.
Oh, another 3 by Dons. 2 threes for the gentleman just coming off the bench.
Secret weapon off the bench.
I guess so.
He must have some hot pocket hand warmers on the bench
Yeah.
over there because
You
he's
need to
coming in
think
with
of-
a hot
You
hand.
need to think about heat checking this next one on the way
Yeah.
down.
I'd run a set for him. If you get this rebound and the Elks are playing like a man set here, run your best man play for him.
What do I always say, Shane? Get from the cow that's given milk.
That's
Let's see.
right.
Let's see if they do that here, Eric. Run something for dots.
Ogamont gets that one punched out by Brody Wolf, so it'll be back
They
down
need
here
to
to
set
the
a screen for him. That's just a handoff.
Stags. Dons with it once more.
Oh, he picked up his dribble. Yeah.
This just comes into recognition phase as a team. Or if you got a veteran point guard right now, you're going to know that, hey,
Stein, 3 straight threes for the Stags, and they go up by 10.
So let's set this up for the night. How many threes tonight for Kingsley, Charles?
I mean, I think they're going to have 3.
Stanfest here gains it back up after getting
Oh,
it. Oh,
and
now
a
it's taken
steal.
away
Nice.
once more.
Got him.
threes.
Almost had him out of position. Nice lead. Go up strong, young fella. I think he
Travel.
might have traveled. Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Oh, that was a good look by Figueroa, though. I tell you what, these Stags came in here hungry.
Applaud the effort. Again,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder if Elk Rapids is still looking at the score from the earlier game they had this season,
Right.
which was an absolute blowout.
Well, that's what you said, is you never want to play down to your opponent in a game like this, especially against Kingsley, who has had so many tough games this year as Stanfest gets that one in. and
Yeah,
has been
nice
so
shot by
hungry for a win.
Stanfest.
What better to make a statement win than against the top team in the conference?
You
right
come
now.
into the second game thinking you're still up 30, and you
Yeah.
got to actually have to play the game.
Right. So it'll be an 8-point lead still with yet another Kingsley turnover this time.
I've just been impressed with the half-court execution of Kingsley. They haven't had any run-outs or easy transition offense. They've had 2 made free throws, but everything else, so 17 points right now coming within half-court sets.
Yeah, just a little patience.
Mason Cannon with some trouble here coming from Dons. He caught him back over to Flutie. Inside to the big man, Bargy.
Oh, I don't know
Found too
why
much
he didn't
pressure
take
there.
him up. He had him out of position.
There's a good
Nice
drain
shot
by
by
Cotterman.
Cotterman.
Brings us back to a 6-point game, down by as much as 10. Chipping away at it. There'll be another turnover here for Kingsley.
Yeah.
Figueroa just couldn't hang
Good
on
run
to
behind by Flutie, although they lost it.
it. Oh, there it is. Dreves gets it right back.
That's the first turnover for a touchdown that the Kingsley Stags have created. If you're Elk Rapids, you want to limit those easy opportunities for a team that's already feeling good and in rhythm offensively so far.
Cotterman short on the 3-point try there. Bargy picks up the rebound and the foul from Kingsley.
And this is where I think Elk Rapids can cover some ground here in this game. The Stags had 6 team fouls in the first period. Now they've already got a quick foul here. But if you can get a couple of these contributing players for Kingsley in some foul trouble, Elks might be able to take advantage of some reserves coming in for Kingsley and then pressure them.
You've got Osborne with 2 right now. It's kind of 2 quick ones for them, and hasn't done much since then. And they've kind of spread the wealth of the fouls with 4 other players having 1 so far. So hopefully they can keep out of that foul trouble with how they've started tonight.
This period will be large in terms of them staying out of foul trouble because they've got a lot of players with 1 who will be the first to pick up or second to pick up 2.
Well, Elk Rapids would be liking to make use of these free opportunities at the free throw line. 10 possible points so far, 5 left on the table in this game.
Oh, they caught a break there.
Yeah.
They doubled or they helped off the play side corner shooter. And, I mean, that's just kind of asking for it. A guy that's 2 for 2, and you're going to help off the play side corner of a guy that's made 2 threes in the last, this quarter.
Yep.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you had your long rebound. Flutie lost it out of bounds. No, not the right idea, trying the inbounds in the paint like that. He's got to be set, and it's a nice, easy pass to him in front. Don't
There
lob
you
it over
go.
the top. Nice take.
And don't look now, but Keegan Cotterman, after making that end of first quarter 3-pointer, is putting together a nice offensive game right now, really doing his best to keep Elks' comeback hopes alive.
Yeah.
I usually think of him as the secret or the way that the Elks are going to go as Cotterman goes from what I've seen so far this year.
Well, as we have a timeout on the floor, we want to tell you about our sponsor of tonight's game in terms of real estate. Bringing you the second quarter is Shelley Battershaw with Century 21 Real Estate, located on 116 East River Street, right downtown Elk Rapids. Reach out to Shelley Battershaw if you're looking to list current property in northern Michigan, whether it's in Antrim County, Grand Traverse County, or Charlevoix County, or if you're like many who are looking for property that's well in demand here in northern Michigan in Antrim, Grand Traverse, or Charlevoix County. Shelley Battershaw can represent your interests like none other. That's Shelley Battershaw Real Estate with Century 21, operating throughout Elk Rapids, Bel Air, Traverse City, Torch Lake, Lake Charlevoix, and East Jordan. That's Shelley Battershaw with Century 21 Real Estate. Well, it was a 10-7 game at the end of the first quarter. It's now a 5-point lead for Kingsley with 3:50 remaining, and I've just liked the flow that Kingsley's been playing with here offensively. It just hasn't visibly appeared that this Elk Rapids pressure has been able to affect them.
Andrew George here with, there you
again,
go,
they got
step
the
on the line.
Yeah, I think it's a 5-second call.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, until then, again, they've been patient on the offensive end. It seems like coaches preached about running your offensive sets and trying to get the best shot possible, and then working on trying to beat the Elk Rapids press when they make one.
Ward to Cotterman here. We've got
Legal screen possibly.
Yeah, that one looks like it's called against Bargy.
pretty low foul count for Elk Rapids so far.
2 on Bargy, and obviously he's one of your beefy guys, your space eaters inside. You gotta be careful with him having 2 fouls now.
Thankfully, they've got Wolgamont there to replace him if need be. We got Drave spinning around Flutie here.
And believe it or not, Cotterman can actually play inside really nicely. He likes to shoot it outside a lot too.
That should be a foul on the aforementioned Cotterman.
Yes.
There he is.
If you can't automatically see the ball, there's no sense wearing their shorts that far away from the baskets.
So, Eric, in terms of tempo right now, if you're either of these two teams, which team do you think likes how this game is being played?
Oh, this is a Kingsley played game right now. If I'm Elk Rapids, I want the pace quickened up. Obviously, when you make, you're trying to press. And, again, to keep the pace up, try to press them at half court. Maybe even just pull the full court press back a little bit, because Kingsley's patience is eating you up at the quarter court as Osborne for 2.
Yeah, comes off the bench there with his 2 fouls.
And Kingsley going to surprise a little press now, a little box press possibly. And, again, everyone's caught staring at the ball instead of rotating and give up a layup. We need to talk about that later on.
So there you go for Bargy. Back to a 5-point, 23.
Then another zone
game.
press. Yep. Zone presses are great if you use them the right way. Too many people try to use it to force double teams more than wear teams down, and then make them commit turnovers because of tired mentally or physically or whatnot. We try too hard to get the steal right away instead of just wearing the team down throughout the game.
Making them consistently make the right play is, a good strategy against teams that are inconsistent.
And if you know the team is going to press all game long, you're going to have to prepare and practice differently. You're going to have to get in better shape for that game too, because can you go all game long with sustained pressure at all ends of the court?
Reeves to Figueroa now from the corner. Dance for his 4th attempted 3. Missed that one.
Like Markey tried to steal it from his teammate.
Yep. So that'll be coming up on Andrew George. Kingsley fouled there.
It'll be his 2nd.
Yep. 2 players with 2 for Kingsley, 1 with 2 for Elk Rapids so far. That'll be Bargy. Stanfest here, getting that one off to Flutie. He's working his way inside. Back over to Resco for another 3. Has not gotten close to making one so far in this game. That's at least 5 attempts for him now.
Another thing too, Charles, they've you had Cotterman hit a 3 there at the end of the period, but that's the only 3 they've made, and they keep shooting from the outside and settling for that.
Right.
I'd also keep packing it in for Kingsley, making him beat me from the outside too.
Quick rotation here, and you had an open shot for Kingsley, but they got it kind of bogged down on that side of the floor.
He downs here against his opposing 3, Stanfest.
Yeah, and the thing is,
corner.
They get help. They get man-to-man help up on the wings. They try to double team that, and if they don't turn their back, they've got people wide open.
And what Elk Rapids has done a couple times, I don't know if it's by design, but they've helped off that corner from the play side. That's dangerous, man.
Yeah, kind of like I was just saying, because you're almost, if he didn't turn his back, he had a easy pass for a wide open shot in the corner.
Donson to Osborne, back to Donson. He works his way inside, puts that one up and in.
You saw it right there.
Yep.
It was that time Stanfest came and doubled.
Okay.
And then turned his back on his defender, and he got backdoored.
So 1 and 5 should have dropped down instead of playing even.
Yep.
On that press, and they ended up being able to beat it.
Cotterman inside, too high for Bargy. Stanfest picks it up, draws the foul here coming off of.
Not sure where this call's coming.
Yeah, that might have been a phantom call. I think what they get in there is that Bargy, after he landed, fell forward. It looked like it wasn't caused by any type of contact. It just looked like he lost his balance.
The ball landed on his back, and he blew the whistle.
Well, it'll be Figueroa picking up the possibly needless foul here, his first. Thankfully only for him. 3 so far for Kingsley. 30 seconds to go in this first half, and it's Kingsley on top by 7 still. Bargy gets that off to Cotterman. Along the baseline, finds Flutie under the basket, back up top to Resco. Cotterman once again left open, knocked out of bounds momentarily.
Good active hands in the paint.
Kingsley taking it back here, trying to have the last shot. 20 seconds.
Coach is shouting at him for the play that they want.
See if they can.
You can't lob that pass in there like that.
Back and forth here between Cotterman and the Stags.
Yeah, any type of lob pass with athletes on the defense, they're going to run into that and get a hand on it.
Yeah, outside of their end of quarter situations, Kingsley's done a really good job here executing their game plan and just staying in control. You saw it at the end of the first quarter where they had an opportunity to really siphon the life out of Elk Rapids, and they breathed a little life back into this Elk Rapids team by having proper time management. Cotterman made the three-pointer. It was 10-4 Kingsley ball, and you could really put a damper on this Elk Rapids home team and home crowd if you're able to just go into the end of the first quarter 10-4 or even 12-4, something like that. Instead, it's 10-7. Let's see if Kingsley right now makes sure that they get the last shot of this first half.
Well, 8 seconds, I would assume, or I would like to see them, and I bring this up a lot, just run a kind of a two-man game on the one side. If you on the right side, if you got a right-handed dribbler, just have a guy on the high elbow and your point guard, and just run a two-man pick and roll on the right side. Have another guy on the opposite elbow, a guy on the opposite block, and a guy on the opposite in the wing over here. Because if you get a two-man game, you're either going to get some type of roll, or you're going to get a layup, or you're going to get some kind of dump down low if the defender wants to slide over and help on the drive, or on the drive, if they collapse, you've got to kick out in the corner for a wide open three. So you've got multiple options in under 10 seconds to get a shot off a simple pick and roll play.
Going to have to beat the pressure here first, though.
Kingsley with it here. That'll be batted away by Oresco, so Kingsley will have it at their end zone here.
That's just as simple as setting up some type of pick play to get the point guard the ball in the inbounds, too.
Yep. And that's actually works out really well for Kingsley, because now it's going to be baseline out of bounds as opposed to in front of their own sideline.
Dreves to Stein, inside to Osborne, got that one tipped away, and it will stay with Kingsley. With 1.2 to go.
That should be off.
It should be Elk Rapids ball, I believe.
Oh, there, the refs just changed it.
Yeah, they tried to get it in the post and tried to force that pass.
And Osborne, we don't have a height listing for the players here tonight, but Osborne is legit 6'5", 6'6" out there, and he's made his presence known.
Whoa, that one buzzed the control tower. Stanfest threw that one up. So it will remain a 7-point lead in favor of the 0-13 Kingsley Stags, 25-18 as we go into the halftime break. Charles, we're going to step aside with our TVC Cherry Capital Airport halftime show and be back in a couple minutes with our thoughts so far. Stay tuned.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
At American Liner Systems, they have 3 main goals in mind. They want to do the best possible job for their customers, ensure farm and industrial safety, and protect the environment all at the same time. No matter how big or small your job site or farm is, they have many eco-safe solutions like machinery catch basins, fuel and chemical storage, manure lagoons, fertilizer containment solutions, equipment maintenance pads, and so much more. To keep our freshwater clean and our forests green, visit AmericanLinerSystems.com or call 231-258-4200 for a free quote so you can protect tomorrow's environment today.
Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to our TVC Cherry Capital Airport halftime show. Shane Smith, Eric Huffman, Charles Strail bringing this one to you live from Elk Rapids. And speaking of the Elk Rapids Elks, they're finding themselves down in a bit of a hole if they have not been able to get out of anything closer than a 3-point deficit so far in this game, as they find themselves down by 7, 25-18. After we saw that initial meetup that they had, it was like a 63-21 affair or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's like 63-18 or something like that.
Yeah, back earlier on this season. And the tables have kind of turned a little bit here for Elk Rapids. Why don't we talk about that so far, Eric and Charles, what we've seen in this game and what some big adjustments should be as they go into the second half.
Well, again, I mean, I talked to you guys at halftime. I coached a team one year that was a freshman team, and we went in and beat a team by 30-plus points.
Yeah.
And so what's hard is with these kids that sometimes you go into the game going, oh, wow, we just beat the out of them the first time. I can just step onto the floor, and it's a win. And the second time around, we ended up losing that game. And I had to look at the guys after the game and say, "What do you think? Was I wrong? Did I lie to you about what could happen?" And sometimes it's hard love and tough lessons and whatnot. But you've got to have your head screwed on straight, no matter who you're playing. They always say any given Sunday. Well, in basketball, it's any given night.
Yeah.
It's and if you're not ready, you can go home with a heartache.
I think that's one of the reasons why boys and girls basketball playoffs are so interesting, because you can get a team like 0-13 Kingsley that can show up at a tournament on a Wednesday night in a semifinal of a district and beat somebody who got a first-round bye. And all it takes is how that team plays on that night. Everything else means nothing up to that point. And right here, everything else that's superseded this game means absolutely nothing. Kingsley comes in 0-13. However, they played a better first half of basketball than Elk Rapids, and they're up by 7 because of it.
Yeah, and we talked about at the beginning of the game, too. This is important for Elk Rapids. This can't be a lay-down game, or if we lose, not a big deal. They're in the top of the race right now. They cannot afford to lose a game like this or take a step back in the way they play because they played down to an opponent. Obviously, it looks like Kingsley has played up tonight, so we'll give Kingsley credit for that first half.
Especially when they've got, again, we'll preview this big game that we'll be bringing to you Thursday night here in this very gymnasium. Top of the conference, shareholders, Harbor Springs will be coming to play Elk Rapids. Harbor Springs with only one loss in the conference so far. Elk Rapids with one. Charlevoix and Boyne City right there tied for second with 2 apiece. Elk Rapids would be sitting in a 3-way tie if they were to lose this game tonight. Kingsley being in the Lake Michigan or Northern Shores Conference as well.
I was trying to get an update on Harbor and Boyne, but Harbor's cameras are down.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that.
Maybe strategic?
Yeah, maybe.
I
tell you what, their cameras wouldn't be down if they had next level broadcasting there.
Well, Shane, you find a way to clone the three of us, and we'll be all over the state.
I would do that in a heartbeat, let me tell you.
So, I mean, I just want to talk about a little bit the composure. And
looks like it might be back on. I might have an update soon.
I briefly talked about just how Kingsley came out, and you could tell that they were very attentive to the game plan.
It's a girls' game. Yeah.
And they, within the first couple minutes of the first quarter, you could tell that whatever they had drawn up for them by head coach Jason Stewart, they were listening. And not only were they listening, but they came out and executed that plan, which was we're going to be confident with our passes. We're going to find our big guy underneath Osborne. And on a couple different instances, they've made absolutely dimes of passes down to Osborne. And what impressed me was early on, a lot of their made field goals were assisted field goals. Against a team that wants to press like Elk Rapids, that's how you're going to score if it doesn't come from the free throw line. You got to have assisted baskets.
Yeah, they've really played with their heads up, and obviously when double teams have come or looking just to run their offense, they've been able to find that open man, especially when they got it down inside too, because of having their heads up too in the assist, finding an open man and not just trying to force the play themselves and see what happens.
And I got to give that credit, the assist player of the game, to Tucker Dreves tonight. I mean, he's been able to find a number of open looks so far, and that goes to credit. He's one of the few upperclassmen that have been out on the floor tonight, a junior down there, so he's playing with that experience to get some of his younger guys like Brody Wolf a chance to score. Obviously, Cole Osborne, the upperclassman there, the lone senior we've seen play many minutes on this court, some good chances under the basket as well.
Yeah, you also have Dance off the bench with 8 points leading the Stags so far tonight.
I was just going to say, could we get a scoring update for both teams right now at halftime?
Yeah, let's see. Wolf has 4. This is Kingsley. Wolf has 4. George has 2. Dance leading the Stags with 8. Figueroa with 2. Dreves with 2. Osborne with 4. And Stein with 3. For Elk Rapids, Stanfest with 4. Resco with 1. Bargy with 2, with 5, and Cotterman leading the Elks right now with 8.
So that's going to conclude our Traverse City TVC Cherry Capital Airport halftime show. We're going to step aside here, gather our thoughts, get ready so you can get ready for the second half of action between Kingsley and Elk Rapids. We'll be back in a minute and a half after this.
At American Liner Systems, they have 3 main goals in mind. They want to do the best possible job for their customers, ensure farm and industrial safety, and protect the environment all at the same time. No matter how big or small your job site or farm is, they have many eco-safe solutions like machinery catch basins, fuel and chemical storage, manure lagoons, fertilizer containment solutions, equipment maintenance pads, and so much more. To keep our freshwater clean and our forests green, visit AmericanLinerSystems.com or call 231-258-4200 for a free quote so you can protect tomorrow's environment today.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, as I have a voice crack to begin this second half. Thanks to Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport for sponsoring our halftime break, as well as Shelley Battershell for bringing us our second period of action. I'm sure she'll be around later on this game as well. I want to welcome you all in here to what has been a pretty exciting game so far, considering what we were looking at coming into this one, as Charles Strail, owner and founder of Next Level Broadcasting and operator of the 1s and 2s tonight, joins alongside of Eric Huffman and myself, Shane Smith, to bring this one to you from Elk Rapids. And it will be Kingsley to begin this half with the ball.
1s and 2s.
Yeah.
Next, I'll have 2 turntables and a microphone.
That'll be your experience coming in here, Eric. You used to run
Ricky.
Yeah, some DJ stuff back in the day.
Put together some sound bites for us.
There you go.
Some sound audio drops.
There we go.
Stags good passing around the perimeter so far with Dreves working against Resco.
Nice
works all
drive
the way
again.
in. Couple of bad bounces. That'll be rebounded by Wolf, knocked away by the Elk Rapids
Boy, he's
squad.
been attacking with confidence tonight.
Yeah.
interesting to watch for some halftime adjustments. That's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on here, Eric and Shane. Just see which team adjusted and how.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if Kingsley changes up their offense and if Elk Rapids does anything different defensively.
Well, they get a steal here with Cotterman.
All of their defensive rotations weren't great that first half, so I'll be curious to see what sets they'll run on D.
See if Elk Rapids can get a bucket made off of the steal. Have not been able to do that too many times so far this evening. It'll be Ward dishing it back to Resco, now to Cotterman. Open for a moment, working around Figueroa. Inside to Bargy. 2 trees around him, so it'll be Cotterman back from the corner. No good on that three-point try. Staying here with the Elks.
Stags catch a break there, helping from the play side corner. Once again, Keegan Cotterman, only Elk to make a three-pointer in the game. They helped off of him, let him get a clean look at it. And both these teams playing with fire in terms of their defensive execution so far.
Hard part is, again, they've only made 1 3. So they're clamping down on the another nice take by Drees.
Assist, yeah, Tucker Drees gets all the way in there.
They're going to double down in the paint and whatnot, kick them outside. Beat you from the outside first. If they get consistent from the outside, maybe they'll change that up. But
Aresco.
Again, there's only been 1 made 3 by the Elks so far.
0 for a bunch there from three-point land. It'll be tie up here. Possession arrow staying with the Elks. Bargy fighting for that one. 9-point lead that Kingsley has.
Yeah, Kingsley is just going to try to pack it in.
Yeah.
One of the things that you can always teach as instead of doubling, you can teach a stunt, where you stunt and go at the post to make them think that you're going to go. That's a nice pass.
Nice.
Cotterman not able to connect there. Bargy gets it back and draws the foul, and they'll need some free throw shots from him. He did go 2 for 2 from the line at the only opportunity he had earlier on in this game, and that's 2 of only 5 made free throws for this Elks team so far.
3 on Osborne. That'll be something to look out for.
Yeah.
Granted, he had 4 points in the first half, but he does a lot around the paint.
He probably would have had more if he wasn't sitting out the majority of the second period and part of the first as well with those 2 fouls. As Bargy gets that first one in.
So question, how long do you keep Osborne on the bench right now if you're Kingsley?
Well, we'll have to find out as Figueroa gets that one off to Dreves.
As long as I have a lead, I'll probably wait 3 to 4 minutes.
Bargy 4 for 4.
But they've got him out there right now.
Yeah, I guess they're not going to keep him on the bench at all.
But if I might sit him for a couple minutes, but I wouldn't sit him the whole third.
Maybe pull him out in a minute or so, but man.
High five
you got to go
Osborne.
up.
There's the foul on Bargy.
If he'd have gone up strong, he'd have gotten free throws, but they're going to call it on the floor.
Yep.
That'll be 3 on Bargy.
Oh boy, both of the big men here.
So, I mean, rolling the dice, and you're going to pick up 3 fouls on the Elk Rapids big man because you keep Osborne in the game.
Yeah. Yep. And now they'll sit Osborne down, and now they'll sit Bargy down. So some strategy by both teams, making sure those 2 big fellows stick around for a while.
So it'll be the 3-point shooter Dantz coming back in here for the Stags, as well as Caden Schlicker making his first appearance for the Stags.
The old set for where the inbounder gets the pass happens again.
Yep.
It's amazing how that inbounder always seems to get the ball.
And this is going to go unnoticed, but Andrew George there just, I mean, whether he recognized it or not, but that was a really smart foul. If he doesn't take that foul, Elk Rapids has a 4-on-2.
Yeah, it's an easy bucket almost. Although it is his third.
Kerfoot double teams, parts the gates here, gets out of it. And we've got a mess down there. Dantz comes away with it and drives it all the way in, the first player to get to double-digit scoring this evening.
Good communication, too. They calling for help on D.
Kerfoot.
Settling for another 3-pointer.
Yeah, off the heel there, back to a 9-point
Nice outlet, nice hesitation, nice finish.
11 points as George drills that one in. 31-20 lead.
Yeah,
Elk Rapids having enough of it.
Good decision by Elk Rapids. Time to call timeout. Maybe sit them all down. Maybe slap the clipboard on the chair a couple times. Maybe get all their attention.
I got to say, for being down by 11 points, I see almost no emotion from the Elk Rapids coaching staff. Kind of an interesting thing here so far.
Well, you can have 2 different types of thought process on that. You got to know your team, right? So is emotion going to motivate your team? I don't think any different types of emotion is going to motivate your team, because if there wasn't any emotion in the halftime locker room, I don't think any emotion right now is going to swing the team's effort.
It all depends on who the coach is and how they've bought into it. Like I told Shane at halftime, if it had been me at halftime, I'd have broken my board.
Yep.
To get the point across, it's never to yell at the kids or whatever, because you don't do that. You just raise your voice or emphasize some things to get the point across. That way they understand it's not about them, it's about the situation, and hopefully they can realize that and pick up the intensity a little bit. Hey, coach is in this, and coach is intense. How come we're not?
Right. It's been a 6-2 scoring spree so far. Kingsley up over the Elks to begin the first 2.5 minutes of this third quarter.
The other alternative is to get a technical. Sometimes that fires the team up too.
Oh, interesting. Resco to Kerfoot here. Back to Ward. Now it'll be Schlicker working. I apologize, Resco once again.
And
Wrong
Kingsley dropping into a zone here.
Yeah.
Eric.
There'll be a foul coming up here on Kingsley.
A little like 2-3 zone, but also some unnatural tendencies for a 2-3 zone there as well that Kingsley displayed on that possession.
That'll be Stein picking up his second.
Yeah, I mean, with the zone, if it's 2-3 zone, obviously you want to pack it in and make them kill you from the outside. They haven't been able to do it so far. Only on a few select shots.
Schlicker throws one off the glass, no good. Kahneman 2 rebounds and gets it back in.
Good putback by Kahneman. Shoot till you make it, mister.
He's kind of been the one reliable source of offensive production tonight for Elk Rapids. I believe he's got 9.
And another thing, too, that you'll notice is that you don't see Elk Rapids pressing on a make right now. And that could be a victim of not being able to do it well enough to slow Kingsley down. So you end up having to back up and play more of a standard half-court defense.
And there'll be the 3-second call here on Kingsley back the other way. Elk Rapids at least finds themselves back inside of a double-digit deficit, trying to climb their way out of this hole.
Yep, now those two guys needed to drop. Now
Kerfoot working it in himself,
nice
gets
take.
the 2. 31-24, 7-point game.
Kerfoot's first 2 of the night.
Good block here by Schlicker.
Nice
But
pass.
Kingsley
Nice
gets it
look.
right back, and there's Wolf left open
Yep.
for the deuce.
Don't give up after the celebration. Keep playing.
And guess who was making that pass? Dots.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it'll be 2. Wolf had a good opportunity to try a charge there.
So Shane, the man with 10 points, or Kingsley, Tyler Dance made a nice pass there to find an open teammate under the rim.
He did.
That's just one of those scramble drill situations where people are going for the ball and you forget to match up with someone. Most likely the player guarding the stag underneath the basket vacated in hopes of tracking down that rebound.
Elk Rapids sitting squarely at 50% from the line so far as Ward takes that one in, gets his own rebound, fights for it here, double team, puts it up. That one will have a bit of a hand on it by Wolf, picked up by Connerman. That'll be another missed opportunity here for the Elks. All the way down, Dreves left unattended, lost his
Yeah, it should be
footing
a
there,
travel.
must be,
Yeah.
Boy, you don't see that every day.
He leaked out a bit, almost like he was cherry picking. They were looking for that quick outlet and the quick layout, just weren't able to connect it.
And speaking of that time we saw Elk Rapids having some effectiveness on the offensive glass. That's one of the first times that we've seen such a thing happen. Kingsley has been pretty good at limiting Elk Rapids to one and done. Let's see if Elk Rapids can get something going on the offensive end, especially on the boards, to give them some extra chances here, as their offense is stuck in neutral.
Kingsley looks like it's an automatic switch right now.
The Stanfest getting that one knocked away by Dunt, staying with the Elks here. 3.5 minutes to go in the third.
And with that automatic switch, Elk Rapids, because of the foul trouble with Bargy, can't punish that switch by running any type of down screen or back screens and trying to get a post touch because he's on the bench with 3 fouls.
Yep.
Cotterman working against Dons to the baseline to wide open Kerfoot. Not able to get that one in either. Still only one made 3 this entire game for Elk Rapids. Resco.
Good hustle by Resco.
Yeah, finds Stanfest. Now Cotterman left open again. He'll work to the baseline. Good hesitation. Fires off the front of the rim. No good. And that'll be Schlicker going to the line.
Yeah, that's going to. I think
4?
that's going to be the 4th one.
Yep.
Yeah, Osborne had good spacing the first shot, and he stayed out of the way, didn't try to block it, and then off the rebound, he tried to block the second go-around.
There you go. Schlicker with his first point of the game.
So I said at about 3 minutes or so I'd have brought him back in. They brought him back in before that. Unfortunately, he gets his fourth foul.
Andrew George and Tucker Dreves comes back in. And for the first time we've seen since Wyatt Bargey's first free throws, Elk Rapids goes 2 for 2 from the line.
Yeah, good job by them. Cut it down to 6.
Yeah, down by as much as 11 here at about the 6.5-minute mark in the third. Clawed their way back 5 points so far. Stotts finds George.
Reversal and then a flash to the high post is how you're going to beat this.
George lets one fly from three-point land, falls short. There on the rebound, Schlicker. He's kind of making his presence known here in recent minutes for the Elks. Horesco for another three-point try.
That's going to be
Well
a foul.
Yep.
Got to close out.
Waited for the contact and then was able to
Yeah.
get the call.
You got to close out under control to a three-point shot. Are they calling this on the floor?
I guess so.
I mean, Max Ward got decked in the act of shooting. You would have thought that it would have been a three-point shooting foul.
They're getting things
Yeah.
switched back around. It will be Horesco at the line here.
It was after the shot, so it was.
Okay.
Yeah, excuse me. Horesco took the three-pointer and he got decked. Was it 2 fouls or 2 free throws or 3 though? That's the question.
I think they called 2.
Okay.
Yep.
So just been inside the three-point arc.
Yeah, he's calling on the release, so yeah.
There you go. Coming back here, 4 for 4 in the most recent 45 seconds of free throw shooting for Elk Rapids. Brings us back to a 4-point game. Timeout called on the floor.
Yeah,
So
7 to 8 free throws this period for Elk Rapids.
there you go.
And while we have a timeout taken on the floor, we're going to take another timeout to tell you about Shelley Battershaw with Real Estate Century 21. Listen, whether you're looking for a property in Northern Michigan or want to sell a property in Northern Michigan, the opportunities right now are endless, whether on the buy or the sell side. So get a hold of Shelley Battershaw with Century 21 Real Estate, serving Elk Rapids, Traverse City, Bel Air, Charlevoix, East Jordan. Whether it's Grand Traverse County, Antrim County, or Charlevoix County, Shelley Battershaw is there to help you either find a place in Northern Michigan or list a place in Northern Michigan with Century 21 Real Estate. So it's a 4-point game as Elk Rapids has continued to chisel into this Kingsley lead.
Yeah, on a 7-0 run here in recent moments. To go back the other way with George finding a lot of trouble, gets it back over to Dreves. Kind of the floor general of today's game so far. And a good takeaway here by Schlicker. That's 2 for him now.
This goes without saying here, guys, but the Stags are going to have to be really strong with the basketball here this last 10 minutes of the game.
Horesco not able to find anything to fall in so far. Figueroa lets that one in and draws the foul.
Yeah, I was wondering on the way up, he started using that off arm on the way up. Thankfully, he held it in close enough, was able to get the and a one with the finish.
That foul will be coming on Braden Flutie, who just came in here a moment ago. His first, team's second. Kingsley back up to 5 here. Well, that was a high one. Good arc to it, but yeah, a little bit too much.
Definitely had arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful because you've got 2 Elks back with only 1 Stag.
Flutie charging his way in, back over to Horesco. Stabfest finding Cotterman. Elk Rapids taking their time here. But a knock away here by Dantz. Elk Rapids getting it back. It'll be Dantz once more, taking it back across the timeline for Kingsley.
Looked like he almost picked that up, put it back down again, too, from up here. But again, we're up here in the mezzanine.
Yeah.
So.
Figueroa to Dantz, left open, in! His third 3 of the night.
He was going to shoot that before the ball even got to him.
I got to tell you what, a 5-0 run coming out of that timeout for Kingsley, and a couple of turnovers have been aiding them by Elk Rapids. That's the second one.
Coach slams
Actually,
the ball.
Third consecutive turnover.
We've got a technical on the coach now.
Well, you talked about it earlier, Eric. Sometimes you get teed up. You can light a fire underneath your team's kindling. And let's see if that has the same effect here for the Elks, because they've had 3 straight turnovers after Kingsley took that timeout, and it's led to 5 points, maybe 7, and a possession for Kingsley.
Reminder, Elk Rapids was down by as much as 11, brought it back to a 4-point game. Now they're back down by 9 again, 38-29 with 1:15 to go here in the third. First free throw missed there by Wolf.
I think Kingsley for the game, this is their 5th and 6th free throws attempt, or yeah, 5th and 6th.
Give you a shot here in a second. Let's see, 2 in the first, none in the second, and 3 this period. They're 0 for 3 this period, by the way. They are 2 for 5 on the night.
The one kind of blemish so far in Kingsley's record this evening, other than maybe the foul trouble they've gotten themselves into. 4 so far in Osborne, player with the highest total so far on the court.
Yeah, Coach, I have to watch it now. After getting the technical, you have to sit down. You cannot get up anymore. And obviously don't raise your voice or else you don't want to get tossed out, because then you miss the next game as well.
Nice down here on the
dump
floor.
down again. Up travel, though.
There it is.
He needed to step forward and just go up right away. Instead, he hesitated and drug his foot.
I'm really impressed with Donce. I mean,
yeah,
obviously he's made 3 3-pointers, but he's made some really adept passes to big guys or post players down in the paint in some tight windows.
Donce and Dreves, their confidence tonight has been outstanding.
Good try there by Ward, no good. The put back by Schlicker falls away as well. And here will be the foul coming up on Staggs.
Yeah, and again, good work by Max Ward. You can tell he's a football player. He's not afraid to go in there and bang no matter what size he is. And again, going in there amongst the big guys and fighting for a rebound and now getting a foul.
Be the second coming up here on Brody Wolf.
Another thing for Ward, you always look for him to contribute too. It's been all free throws for him tonight, and he is 1 for 5 so far.
1 for 2. A little bit more like it there for the Elks. It'll be 38-30
Yeah,
ball
still
game.
trying to press. Again, 2 quick passes, you'll end up with an easy layup. But again, they're playing patient basketball.
30 seconds to go here in this third. George out of frame here to Dreves. And back to Donce. Donce and Dreves show so far this evening for the Stags.
No travel.
He walked again. Yeah, he's got to learn to put that ball down. That was a nice move if he learns to do that power dribble along with it.
That's exactly what the Kingsley assistant coach is directing Wolf, how to make it so that it's not a travel.
Drop that foot and pound that ball as you're doing it, and then go quick spin around and go up strong.
And that's a rare showing of the youth that's on this Kingsley team. One of the several sophomores that are out there on the floor here for the Stags. Schlicker lets one go from three-point land, no good.
Again, settling for a 3 again.
Yeah.
You got to start looking to drive and attack. And if you get a 3, make it be from a kick out or off a drive or something where you've got that.
Yeah. So we're going to step aside here for one more commercial break. We'll be back in just a few moments on the other side of this. Stay tuned.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport, TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Coming into this one, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth and final quarter of this game just about ready to get underway. Kingsley still holding a strong 8-point lead over Elk Rapids, and this upset is becoming a little bit more possible as we just have not seen the cogs click into place so far for Elk Rapids, especially on anything inside the perimeter.
Well, let's see now, getting into the last 8 minutes here. How familiar is Kingsley in this territory? Do they still play as loose and as confident as they have all night, or do they start tightening up, trying not to lose instead of playing to win? And the same thing for Elk Rapids. Are you going to turn it up a notch and show us some intensity for this final period?
Just another highlight of what type of upset this would be. Elk Rapids 10-4, Kingsley 0-13 coming into this game tonight.
Who would have thunk it if that was the case? Here we go. Donce lets one fly for long two there. That one falls just short. Rare miss for him tonight.
You know what the problem
all the way
was?
Back down the other end of the court. Ward not able to get that one to fall in. Bargy out there on the floor, fights for it, and gets the putback.
The problem there for Donce was that he wasn't behind the three-point line.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Too short a range for him this evening.
This game does not feel like it's only a two-score game.
No, it does not.
Nice dump down in again.
There it is. Wolf.
They've been finding that in the paint all night long.
Last two possessions he had to score. Turnovers. That one he finally gets two on the board, and it's back to an 8-point ball game. 40-32. Cotterman not able to get that one to go. Tries to save it.
Was out of bounds.
Yes, it is. So back to the stands.
And again, you've got 1 3 made by the entire Elks team tonight, and they're still trying to settle for the outside shot. The only time it's been inside, mainly off of rebounds, or if it's been more of a wide open floor, they've been able to drive into the paint.
If you were the coach and your kids kept trying to make these threes all night long, which I don't think they would knowing your coaching style, what would you tell them, Eric? I'm really curious.
It would be off a timeout, end of the period, whatnot. Anytime where you can get them together and be like, I'd be like, I'd probably look at them, you shoot another one like that, I'm going to sit you down, basically. And this is what we're going to run, or I'm going to show them, okay, this is what the play we're going to run, and let's set it up probably like a 1-4 set, because I know I've got 2 or 3 options around the paint area within the free throw line extended that I can get a shot off instead of having to settle for a 3. Again, the only 3 should be if it's a kick out, last ditch situation or whatnot.
The other thing you got to note is that right now the paint is relatively uninhabited for Kingsley. Cole Osborne's on the bench with 4 fouls. So you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, Kingsley's able to kept and grew a lead with him on the bench.
There's your paint tries. No good between both Kerfoot and Bargy.
Bargy shoot a couple.
Yep. The first here on Kingsley, and that'll be on Andrew George, the second player with Kingsley now with 4, yes.
Well, the first quarter foul trouble starting to mount and rear its ugly head for Kingsley, as a lot of those players picked up an early first personal foul, and now that we're into the penultimate part of this game, it's starting to allow the Elks to chip away if they can continue making free throws, and it's also putting those key contributing factors on the bench for Kingsley.
Well, and here's the other issue. Elk Rapids just has not shoot well altogether tonight. As they're getting it across half-court line.
Nice
well,
pass.
I'm looking at my scorebook here in a second.
Oh my gosh.
Another 2 points for Wolf. Another nice look.
Figueroa looked off.
I'm waiting for a dead ball because I want to talk about how many free throws compared to shots Kingsley's getting in the second half.
And I want to highlight that Figueroa pass. He looked off that pass, looked at the corner, and looked it down to Wolf.
There you go, Mr. Resco. You got inside the paint. You put a shot up instead on the three-point line. You got it in and drew the foul. Go for a three-point play the old-fashioned way if you're Resco right now.
Looks like he got rewarded going to the circus on that one.
Yeah, he did. And there's Osborne playing playing a little dice with him here. Still 6 minutes to go in the game with 4 fouls on his tally so far. That one off the heel there, so it will remain a 7-point affair with 6 minutes to go exactly, 42-35. Elk Rapids only been within 2 possessions so far, once in this entire half. Ward changes that though, drives it in.
Good
makes
decision.
It a 5-point game.
The defense is going to make him make a decision, and he held onto the ball, which is the right one.
42-37. It'll be Dreves here, kicking it back out to Donce. And here's a reach foul coming up on Resco. That'll be his first so far this game.
I was going to talk about bucket and free throw discrepancy, although Elk Rapids has made 3 buckets now this fourth period to kind of take it away. Yeah. 10 points compared to 9 points, buckets, 2 free throws the second half.
Back to Dreves here as he works his way out close to the half-court line, staring down Kerfoot. Trying to hold on to that precious 5-point lead with 5 1/4 to go in the game. Osborne to Dreves, thought about loading up for that 3-point shot. Gives it off. Figueroa from the free throw line, no good. Bargy there.
Yep. Osborne was careful just to stand there with his arms up, not try to make any contact.
Figueroa somehow got that one away. Yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah. Keep possession. You want possession of the ball.
Flutie comes back with it here for the Elks. Haresco to Ward, now to Kerfoot in the corner. And a takeaway by Osborne, nearly. Margie gains it back. That one too powerful. Fighting for the ball still. Players all over the place. Oh my gosh, we have a timeout called by Elk Rapids.
Yeah, and Bargy got away with one there.
Yeah,
It looked
he
like
did.
he put a lot of body into one of the Kingsley defenders there.
Good hustle by both teams, though.
You got to like the way that both teams are leaving it out on the floor right now, and how that we've entered the fourth quarter. The officials are allowing these teams to settle it within the lines. You know, obviously anything that's too extracurricular, they'll call a foul on. But I have liked the way that Elk Rapids has responded, you know, since the technical foul. It's, I believe at that point in time, was a 9-point game. Now it's a 5-point game. They have possession here. They can trim it down to a 1-score game if they can just make a basket on this possession. And even though it's 5 points, it doesn't feel like 5 points. It's always felt like this game, even though Kingsley's been up by 5, it's felt like a huge mountain for Elk Rapids to try and climb out of this deficit tonight, just because a lot of the errors have been self-inflicted. I mean, a lot of these turnovers that Elk Rapids has been a part of have led directly to Kingsley points. The points off of turnovers right now, I would say, heavily skewed in favor of Kingsley.
It just looks like the Elk Rapids possibly planned for a 62-18 game again tonight. You know, and fortunately Kingsley came ready to play and have been working on their game, and 4:37 away from a possible major upset with Elk Rapids and looking to stay on top of the standings.
Kerfoot here in the corner, Dreves all over him. And that'll be a foul coming up here on Dots.
Yep, got to be careful. Only his second.
Yep.
You got to be careful, though. That's 3 fouls with half this period to go. You don't want them shooting free throws the rest of the game.
Yeah, for a team with over 15 team fouls so far across this entire game, you don't have anything to give up at the end of the game if it comes down to free throws.
Or wide open buckets like Max Ward just had.
Brings it back to a 3-point game, the closest it has been this entire half. 42-39. As Dreves.
Nice pass.
Yes.
Nice follow, too.
Ooh, Osborne not able to get it. Finally gets it there between Osborne and Dots.
Osborne
back to a 5-point game.
First points of the second half.
Okay.
So what Kingsley has been punishing has been Elk Rapids coming to help off of the block
Kerfoot here,
player.
no good. That'll go behind the backboard. Back the other way.
And another settled 4-3.
Yeah.
Like we just saw there, even though Osborne didn't make it on the initial play, Bargy came off of him, and then the pass was dropped down to Osborne, and then Kingsley crashed the glass and was able to score it.
Yeah. You know, how many quick shot fakes to look to drive, or how many screens have we set up out there to look to just play a 2-man game and pick and roll out there even?
Andrew George here working his way to the paint. Goes back up top to Dreves. Fine inside to Osborne, knocked away by Ward. 3:30 to go in the game.
Good job by Ward stepping in front and knocking that out of the bounds,
Yeah.
but still just getting ready to say, still, Kingsley, for the most part, still not trying to force it and being patient on the offensive end.
I've got a point next dead ball to talk about for Kingsley's offensive shot selection.
Cotterman with the takeaway. Goes back across here, trying to get it back within a 1-possession game again. There'll be a foul coming up here.
Yeah, and if Dance just sets his feet, possible. But the right decision to drive into him and get that foul.
Already the 4th foul of the period here for Kingsley. 4-1 is this tally so far. Charles, you had a point you wanted to make.
Yeah, I'm going to make it next dead ball.
All right.
It's called a radio tease.
Bargy not able to get that one in. Too much power there. So they back to the Stags once more. Okay, Charles, now's your tease time.
So right now, Kingsley's shot selection and their shot distribution chart, if you looked at it, much, much better than what Elk Rapids has been. Kingsley's either been getting the proper shooters the ball and shooting it from 3, or getting it to their big guys and crashing the glass and getting good close proximity shots toward the basket. And it's playing within yourself, as you know what shots you can and can't make and are capable of making, and then making sure that you take the shots you're capable of making.
Yep.
Oliver Stein with the over and back there.
He carried it.
Or carry, I apologize.
Yeah, he carried it. He was trying to do it all on his own. You needed a teammate to set him a screen or whatnot.
Haven't seen
you don't beat a press by one against 2 or 3 or 4.
Haven't seen much of him out there on the floor tonight. Gets a rare turnover for Kingsley so far. Horesco again from the there you go. A blind squirrel will find a nut once in a while, and he finally gets the shot in there. And it's a 2-point game.
It's one of my lines. I love it.
44-42.
I like a dead clock's right twice a day.
Yeah. That's about how it's tallied up here at the 3-point line for Elk Rapids.
The second made three-pointer.
Yep.
We got a game coming down the last 145 seconds left.
Yeah.
Who would have thought on this one?
At least 2 timeouts for each team. We might be here a little while.
All the way down, Horesco. The last 5 points for Elk Rapids, and he ties the ball game up for the first time since we had double zeros to begin.
Yeah, Horesco, he's one of those guys that's just going to keep shooting it. Although he hasn't made much throughout the night, he's just going to keep shooting it until it starts falling in. He had 3 made free throws until the 4th quarter, and now he has 7 points in this period alone.
You don't want to look at his 3-point shooting percentage, but his total points there really has helped buoy this Elk Rapids team back up to a tie ball game.
Also, like Charles said, too, ever since that technical, you've got Elk Rapids has really turned it up a little bit, and Kingsley just kind of stayed at that level, hasn't been able to get that second win or just get it that last level to be able to close this game out. And now with 2:11, it's anybody's game.
Whew, boy, what a fun one we've got coming down the wire here. As 12, Jack Middleton comes in for the first time this game. Interesting time to have a fresh player out there. We'll see what he can do. Kingsley with 1, 2, 3, 4 players with 3 fouls or more, though, so far in this game. As that'll be Middleton taking the inbound pass, working against Horesco. Horesco, one thing that he is very pesky on the defensive side of the ball.
I was just going to say, one thing you can't do if you're Kingsley is you can't give Elk Rapids free possessions.
Yeah.
You got to have that clock going on in your head, too, and that's like when we would press. We always loved it when they passed the ball backwards to an open person because we'd shift and make them go back and forth. A couple of times going back and forth, you're getting a 10-second call.
Ward all the way in. Oh, my goodness, draws the foul.
Beautiful
off of Osborne.
finish.
Yeah, and that'll be the 5th and final for him as Ward gets awarded with the foul and 2 points here.
That's 7 straight now. Wait, no. Horesco had 5 straight. Now Ward looking for the old-fashioned 3-point play. But how many points in a row has it been for Elk Rapids?
It's been 7. You were right.
Okay.
Yep.
And this will be the same thing for Max Ward, too. All free throws until this period.
That one falls short, but Elk Rapids, the silver lining here is that they have their first lead this entire game at the time when it matters most, inside the 2-minute mark. Middleton works that one down to Dreves. Kingsley with their backs against the wall now. Dreves lets one fly from the free throw line. Too much power there. The wheels starting to wobble a little bit.
And that's the first time they kind of just settled for a shot and just kind of threw one up in a crowd.
Ward to Cotterman with poise along the baseline. Floats that one up, and it's in.
Yeah, Cream's starting to rise to the top for the Elks.
A long pass here all the way down the court, and it'll be a foul coming up on Bargy. That'll be his 4th.
And right now, Kingsley just got to settle down a little bit. They've been blitzed here by 9 straight points for Elk Rapids. I mean, believe it or not, about a minute and a half ago, Kingsley was in control of this game.
Right.
And some of the turnovers, some of the ill-advised shots, Kingsley getting away from what got them to this position or that position. As, like you said, Shane, the wheels starting to fall off for Kingsley. They're going to need to create some turnovers to get some possessions back in their favor.
They're really going to want this free throw by Wolf to make it a one-possession game, 3-point difference. If he can get it in here, then try to find someone like Donce or Dreves, who have been just lights out all night long so far this evening.
Well, Donce is on the bench right now. Oh, just right there. I meant, I didn't mean Donce. I meant
Well, it's an
Osborne.
It's an 18-7 period for Elk Rapids.
Yeah. New takeaway here. Back the other way. A loose ball again. Connerman gets it back to Stanfest. It'll be Bargy in the corner. Rare to see him there. Connerman drives it all the way in, and that'll be the foul coming up on Kingsley. That'll be on Wolf.
Yeah, gave him the lane. You got to take it.
Yep.
I mean, outside of the three-pointer made by Hresco, Shane, and Eric, Elk Rapids has been attacking the basket. They've been attacking the basket, exposing the fact that Osborne wasn't on the floor for a large majority of the fourth quarter because of those fouls. When he came back in, they kept attacking him, kept attacking the basket, got to the free throw line, and they've increased their percentage of shots closer to the rim.
Attacking the basket earlier in the game, too, might have got him in more foul trouble even earlier in the game also.
2 for 2 at the line now
Nice
for Connerman.
job.
That's a 5-point lead with 60 seconds to go. Kingsley with a must-have basket here to keep themselves in this one, and their hopes alive with the upset. Dunce for the three-point try. That one falls off the front of the iron. No good. Connerman to Bargy, left wide open. Plays that one in.
Finish up the middle.
And there's the timeout called by Coach Stewart and the Stags.
Yeah, you could just start sensing that Kingsley was running out of gas.
Yep.
I mean, they had played well within themselves for 3 quarters of this game.
You could even argue like 3.5, really. I mean,
Yeah.
up until the 3-minute mark in this one, they still had that 5-point lead.
Well, part of the problem that Kingsley was having is that they were deriving a lot of their offensive production from Elk Rapids miscues. When Elk Rapids started playing solid fundamental offense, it really started to thwart the ability for Kingsley to get easy runouts going back. In the second half, outside of a couple threes made by Donce and a couple of drop-down passes to their bigs on the post, the fuel for the Kingsley offense had been those Elk Rapids turnovers that they were kind of leaking out and cherry-picking a couple times. I shouldn't say cherry-picking, but they had good run-out opportunities from long, missed three-point rebounds. And the other point, once Elk Rapids really started putting effort to attacking the basket, the length of those long rebounds shrunk, thus allowing Elk Rapids to also offensive rebound better, and that's how they've gotten in this game, or taking the lead now, up by 7.
Dreves to Figueroa.
You got to think if they make it, if they make anything, they're going to be up in their faces with a press.
That one knocked away by Connerman. So the Middleton here on the baseline.
Got to get the ball up soon.
Yes, indeed.
Should be a quick screen and a shot.
Middleton going for the long two. Yes, indeed. Got it
Nice
in.
shot.
Put there on the line.
You got to get it up there. Deny. Yeah, you should be denying the inbounds pass and that return pass. Now you got to just hope you can get to a double team.
The problem is they really don't have any fouls to give. And they're letting the clock run here. 17 seconds to go.
Yep.
And there's the foul finally.
Eric, who do you think, if you had to say a couple different players that changed the tempo of this game for Elk Rapids tonight in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I'm trying to talk too loud because it's so quiet in here during free throws. The guy shooting the free throws right now, Max Ward, has been the Energizer Bunny this second half, kind of setting the example for the energy that they needed. Give some credit to Bargy in the second half. And Keegan Cotterman as well, too.
Well, you got to give credit to Resco as well. If it wasn't
Yeah,
for his three-pointer
Resco.
to get that one finally in and get this engine back shifting into gears more, this would be a much different game. There's a big three. Might be a little bit too little too late here. 3-point game, 5 seconds to go. Figueroa buried that one in, but Kingsley here might be coming short.
Well, I do got to say Kingsley definitely covering the number tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, if I had laid something down on this one, I probably would have lost something tonight.
Yeah.
maybe the people that are watching are interested because of what the spread indicates, but I always love when they get like the Sunday night football and they're talking about, it's the blowout, but they're talking about how they're interested parties right now with the current score.
Well, yeah, well, no matter what, Kingsley's got to go home knowing, hey, this is, what we're capable of. We just got to keep working at it. And Elk Rapids, in the tight race for the conference that they're in, hopefully this is a wake-up call for them for the rest of the season to be like, okay, you cannot take any time off, no matter who you're playing, or else things can happen like we talked about earlier tonight.
And let's see if Elk Rapids can kind of bundle this effort here in this fourth quarter here tonight and roll it over into their game Thursday.
I'd have put a tall guy on there denying that inbounds pass and then double team.
5 ticks on the clock to go. Stanfest to Ward, and that'll be the foul.
I thought they were going to get a jump ball tonight. Possession error would have still favored Elk Rapids, but it was pretty close to a jump ball.
Yeah, you don't know. You never know what they're looking at, but
so that'll be on Wolf, his 4th.
You never know if they get caught into the anticipation foul and not looking completely, or if it's an actual foul.
So it'll be Max Ward here to try and ice this one away. One free throw would put this game out of reach for Kingsley. That one bounces around.
As he hasn't made one this period.
Okay.
This is a big one right here.
See if you work a little announcer's magic on that one.
He's
Eric.
0 for 4 this period.
You're trying. Off the heel.
Oh, nice effort by
Oresco.
Yes. Able to jump up there and grab that.
Wow.
That's a game-winning play right there.
Yes, sir.
5 points for him in this 4th and final quarter, according to my unofficial tally. And the final takeaway there off the free throw.
7 for him this quarter.
7, okay,
yes.
to ice this game away.
10 total for Oresco.
Well, you got it set up right here Thursday night from Elk Rapids. Elk Rapids versus Harbor Springs. 11-4 versus, let's get an official record for Harbor Springs. We don't know if they
were 11-1 after the Charlevoix game.
Yeah, don't know if they won tonight versus Boyne City, so we'll have 11-4 versus 11-1 Thursday night here from Elk Rapids as the 2 leaders tied for first place in the Northern Shores Conference will be putting it on the floor and in between the lines Thursday night. We'll have that one for you here.
What a fun
on
game.
Next Level Broadcasting. So, gentlemen, any final remarks here before we put a bow on this one?
Well, I just have to say, Kingsley, Eric kind of mentioned this a minute ago, they have nothing to be upset about in this game. They played against arguably one of 2 top teams in this Lake Michigan Shores Conference, gave them everything they could handle and then some, all the way up until the buzzer here as they brought it to a 3-point game. So this team, they're a young squad, but they've got a lot of potential to go. You've got Brody Wolf, who's only a sophomore, put in a lot of good minutes tonight. Andrew George right there. But Figueroa, Dreves, Dots, those kind of the big 3 that have really made this game tick for the Stags, all juniors. So they've got another year. It's just a bit of a down year right now for the Stags, but they've got some bright spots in this team and a bright future ahead. They've had some good games this season. This was not the least of them, and we're excited to see what they have in the future, Eric.
Yeah, if you're Elk Rapids, I take this game film. I don't throw it away. I sit down and I watch this one.
Yeah.
Because they need to see exactly what we saw tonight, and hopefully they can take something out of this because performances, granted they were able to pull out the win tonight, but if you're going to play like what we saw tonight through the end of the year and going into tournament time, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you want to be able to learn from. The good news, Elk Rapids, you can learn from a win.
Yes.
Anytime you can learn from a win as a coach, you'll take that all day of the week.
Sometimes
because
it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, because that means you won and
Yep.
you still got to learn. So, well, we want to thank you for tuning in tonight, making us a part of your Tuesday night festivities here, January 28th. The next time you'll see us will be tomorrow on Next Level Broadcasting when the Gaylord St. Mary Snowbirds clash with the Bel Air Eagles in a matchup of 2 teams tied for first place in the Ski Valley Conference. So that's going to be a good game.
What a good slate of games we have this week. If you're a Next Level
We're
fan.
spoiled.
My gosh,
We're
I guess
spoiled.
so.
Yeah.
And Gaylord St. Mary versus Bel Air. Catch that one tomorrow night simulcast on nextlevelbroadcasting.net or online at Next Level Broadcasting on YouTube. So we'll put a bow on this one and see everybody here Thursday night as the Elks take on Harbor Springs Rams.
All right, sounds good. Everyone out there driving around, Stay safe out there in this weather, and until we see you again, have a great night. For Charles Strail, Eric Huffman, and myself, Shane Smith, thank you all for tuning in to what was a very fun game. Good night.